by the Japanese.
I guess we could do
spanning a
Doom.
gigantic world.
I do want to play this game though, but I don't mind like spoiling it. I do want to play it though.
You were never one of us.
What?
You were nothing but an imposter.
Oh my god. What?
Doom Eternal is a game with so much testosterone dripping from its orifices that it caused me to create a son via mitosis. In this adventure, you play as John Doom, a man stricken with irrationally severe causes who does not consider or think through his actions and effects on other people.
Why do all this
in his quest to
happen?
save mankind, kills God, and Satan God, who is also himself. If this in-depth and engaging hardcore male gameplay sounds appealing, then I've got the game for you. This game is of course the sequel to the critically acclaimed Doom 2016 with a few key differences.
Alright then, buddy. I'm going to shit yourself.
Which meaningfully extends and builds off of the gameplay.
What the hell is
that we
this?
love, then extends them some more off of a fucking cliff until the product that emerges out the other side resembles crack concentrate. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you've probably played the game since
No.
I don't actually want to help people buy things. I'm here to entertain people, and if you're clamoring for entertainment and haven't purchased this game yet, do yourself a favor. There's enough male hormones here to transition someone, and I can guarantee you results,
Oh my
my
God!
fellow Sigma males. So whether you're a psychopath like me or new to modern Doom games, come with me on this amazing journey through Twitch gameplay,
I don't know what to
beautiful
say.
environments, nonsensically fucked up lore, and remixed Mongolian throat singing. For money is temporary, but Doom is eternal. I would say that Doom Eternal's gameplay is quite unique, and not for the reasons that you would think. Everything in Doom Eternal is funneled directly into a single, robust, multifaceted, multinational, and unilaterally combat system, from which the entire game is built around. But Max0r, I hear you thinking, that's every game ever. Yes. Every good game ever. If I, for instance, became 12 and booted up GTA 5,
What the
I
hell
would be able
was
to do at
that?
least a dozen unfun activities. Doom's design is focused harder than the average Persona fan on his local playground, and that is special. You will play the game in the way that is fun, or you will lose. So as good as 2016 was, a Polygon journalist could beat the first half, and that's unacceptable, because yes, it is actually unfun to play games after having a lobotomy. In other games, I get to choose between things like stealth, vehicles, or outright combat. Yet Doom Eternal asks the question, why not force you to use every mechanic all the time without stopping? In a world where AAA studios try to pander to everyone, it's refreshing to have a game that sets out to do one thing the best, and actually have developers who give a shit about linear design and gameplay. And the main component of that gameplay is the arsenal, because John Doom uses every weapon throughout the game. The first shotgun is used in the last level, and the last level is used by the first shotgun. When you get an upgrade, it isn't a replacement, it's a genuine addition to your arsenal. Every one of them has specific uses, and yet these don't interfere at all. They enhance. How do I kill an enemy? Well, shoot his hands off, fire a rocket, fire a ballista, fire flame, freeze him, fire on his
Oh my God!
shotgun,
Really?
aneurysm. Just as important as how you kill is how you heal and how you restore. Fortunately, the aggression of this game rivals my dog in a kindergarten. Like real life, the only way to get ahead of the competition is to kill them. How do I heal when low? Kill them. How do I get ammo back? Kill them with a chainsaw. In addition, most weapons in the game have two mods which completely change their behavior.
God.
Such stunning
So you like
examples
fighting
would be
like
the
Satan's
microwave
Spawn or
beam,
something like
the automatic
that?
shotgun, and the fucking destroyer blade. God, that shit's cool. But on top of 8 weapons, 12 mods, and a declining mental state, we keep going. More than any one weapon, you'll be using your suit abilities, and they all have individual buttons. This is in addition to the 8 that you use for weapons. These would be things like zoom for fast, grenade for death, Swedish grenade for life, punch for no reason, and a flamethrower for armor. I play Invoker in Dota 2, and this shit makes me play my keyboard like it's a fucking Moonlight Sonata. I thoroughly recommend playing PC and never using the weapon wheel for maximal Ritalin output. And if you can't switch weapons fast or play on easy mode, that's fine, man. We're all busy. How about I give you 2 more buttons? You thought I was done. There's 2 ways to kill a demon in Doom Eternal. The fun way or the funny way. And to maximize the funniness level, we have the Crucible, which is a direct, instantaneous kill on every enemy. Giant area boss, dead. Previous area boss,
Must be like
dead.
a
The
special
final boss, fuck 'em.
weapon?
Now I hear you thinking, Josh, that sounds pretty strong. Oh boy, buckle your ass. Because the second super weapon on my extensive list of 2 things is the BFG, which canonically stands for Big Fucking Gun. Also canonically, it fires a hole directly into the core of Mars.
Just shoot a hole the surface of Maw.
Okay.
Now, I could kill an enemy the long way, or I could kill him and his dog faster than the ATF at Waco. It clears out everything you can see instantly.
What the
I am
hell?
so thankful the game limits how many times you can do this. Now, I understand that at first
The
this may
cat
seem
zoom in
complicated, but that just
for
isn't
good
true, because
reasons.
the entire game is effectively a tutorial for hard mode. And because you're always learning as you play, it never feels stale. Doom even lets you choose what stats and runes to upgrade. I spec'd entirely into mobility and ammo, making my character a flimsy, crack-addled spider monkey. As a side note, we should release dozens or possibly hundreds of macaques into New York City. They can survive there. Why does Thailand get to keep all of the good monkeys? So what more is there to learn about Doom Eternal? Well, have you ever given thought to the various unwashed baboons that I'm fighting? The answer may shock you. Those are the
So,
as you may have guessed, there
it's
are
so
at least
irrelevant
three,
that it makes you
perhaps
laugh
four
so
demons
fucking
in the game,
hard.
which is a lot for someone who is a small, blonde,
Why does
angry
Thailand
monk
get
such
to
as myself,
keep all the
but
good
it's the variety of
monkeys?
the demons that make the game interesting. Demons can fly, they can roll around like hedgehogs, contract obesity, and be bastards. Who is Sandy Lowe? Who is Tsushima? Amy Rose? I didn't know she could stand. The point of the entire game, therefore, is to
Oh my
balance
God,
targets,
okay,
switch weapons, and scream internally as you repeatedly fail to be cool. Just like high school. What I'm getting at is every demon has
Yikes.
completely different
Ow.
behavior and goals from one another. The Doom Hunter rolls around in a comically small tank. The zombies, like us, exist to die. And the Marauder produces controversy. He does a lot of damage, blocks your attacks, fights you at wild speeds, and can only be attacked after blatantly signaling so. I personally have no issue with him, as I find the challenge fun and engaging. And if you don't, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm saying you're bad. I'm not getting into the details for each one, since that's not funny, but
Oh
don't
my
worry, there are
God.
27 of them, without DLC. And if you're wondering why I'm fighting the
Oh,
entire
wait,
cast
so
of
the game
Dog
even
Days
has
Inferno,
DLCs?
you're actually the minority. This game tries at every moment to make exposition collectible. Why is there just a fucking big spear in the planet, and why is heaven comprised entirely of moth people?
You cannot stop the procession.
It feels like one guy wrote the events of the game, and another guy invented LSD just to write the backstory. So I'm going to combine both of them into a single, accurate interpretation of the
God.
Doom lore. If I say something objectionable, just pretend that it's right.
Just pretend that it's right, chat. Lore.
One Brazilian years ago, there was a guy named The Dad who was effectively God, and he made moths in lamp heaven called the Makers. Every 10,000 years, all moths combine their collective consciousness into one gigamoth called the Con Maker, who is the Moth Pope. So the moths rule over the galaxy, sort of, until Earth happens, and then we start fucking everything up. The Moth Pope finds John Doom after a spree of murders, and
Moth
he explains
Pope?
to her that yes, hell exists. It's weird that humans knew about hell before God. Anyways, the Moth Pope, after finding out that hell is real, very reasonably decides to sacrifice a planet to it. See, it turns out that God literally pieced the fuck out like 10 million years ago and let the moths do whatever they wanted. So now the Con Maker cannot be replaced and cannot die, so she sort of goes insane from the constant immortality. Now the plan is to get some of that sweet hell energy by repeatedly sacrificing entire planets to the Dark Lord in exchange for it. Meanwhile,
What?
a sentient robot named Samuel Hayden is very busy on Mars. Earth has this problem called climate change, and we need to find a new energy source. So instead of something hard and difficult like solar power, Samuel Hayden is like, what if we extract this cool blue energy from hell? Also, it's on Mars. Earth does this until hell begins breaking into Mars and John Doom stops them, which is the plot of Doom 2016. This makes Samuel
What
Hayden
the
mad because he's funded by the Koch brothers and really doesn't want to build a windmill. So instead of destroying the demonic crucible, he just brings it back to Earth and catapults John Doom into the backstory planet. If you think that sounds unreasonable, just remember that we considered blotting out the sun before building a fucking solar panel.
I only poo-poo farted for the good of humanity.
Unsurprisingly, demons invade to recycle Earth into blue energy.
There's
for
no
the
way
Moth
that's the-
Pope, so
please
John
tell
Doom
me
has
that's
to
something
fight both
actually
Catholics
says.
and hell. And as you go through the game, you might notice that it just brings up random shit at will.
Oh my God, I need to
sorry,
breathe,
the
I need to
Soul
breathe, I
Factory
need
is
to
being
breathe.
held there by two gigantic titans, and it's like, okay, I guess Attack on Titan is real now. Doomslayer, you'll need this knife
Okay,
to kill
there we
my
go, there
son.
we go.
Oh shit, what'd he do?
He's the giant, uncontrollable demon titan.
The plot of the main game, to understate it, is psychotic, and acts as an increasing checklist of galactically convoluted repetitive tasks. Just in this one game, John Doom finds an ancient city like 3 times, goes to the North Pole to kill Santa, fights Croatia, does a little trolling, does a little cockfighting, invades heaven, and permanently kills God, but we'll get back to that. Doom 2016 took place on Mars,
Oh my
but this
God.
game has you slung around the universe on a fucking bungee cord, so I understand completely when people say they don't play Doom Eternal for the plot. They're just wrong. I play Doom Eternal for the plot, and that might sound strange to you, but Eternal's plot is pure insanity, and it does everything that it needs to. We are painfully aware that the plot exists as a contrivance because the environmental designer went fucking ballistic.
Oh
I
my
just don't care.
God.
I played every single level, gleefully wondering, oh boy, what stupid shit is next? I cannot fucking wait. So play the game for the plot. It is integral to the experience of Doom Eternal. Oh, but Max0r, there's a plot hole. How did the Doomslayer get the first? Everything I've said so far, except some of it, applies in full partially to the base game. But there's $40 dues of DLC where the gameplay is faster, the challenge harder, and the plot, somehow, even fucking worse in all the right departments. 2016 was a walk. Eternal is Usain
This makes me
Bolt,
want to
and the
play
Ancient
so
Gods
fucking
is
bad. I want to play
Venezuelan
Doom now.
inflation. You thought it was over when John Doom beat the demons and destroyed all of heaven, but you were wrong. That's just the beginning. And with both parts of the DLC now fully out, my recommendation cannot be understated. Let's get into why, and more importantly, what.
You guys want you
This
want me to
section
play it?
of the video
Really?
is going to be different, far more structural,
Oh.
and aligned with the plot of the DLC. Because the gameplay isn't what's new about the
But I would
product,
be a
it's the
noob.
challenge and the story. I originally wrote an entire script for this and then trashed it because it doesn't truly communicate how this DLC drove me to insanity, and I hard coped by simping for 2D women. I will tell you if there's a very big gameplay change, but the point of the DLC is more of
Oh
what's
my
amazing.
God.
If you like Doom Eternal,
Was
you
it
will
that
like the
bad?
DLC. Period. Okay, so Samuel Hayden. You might know him for his various appearances on political YouTube debates advocating for carbon positivity. It turns out that he's not a robot. He's a fucking angel. Also, John Doom's Alexa is God. That's not a joke or exaggeration. His name is Vega, and he is the physical remnant of God's consciousness in AI form. So Samuel, now a fucking divine being, wants you to revive him since both God and Satan are trapped in volleyballs. At this point, the video can't count as spoilers because it makes no fucking sense. The first DLC is essentially trolling because you kill God. Why? Well, obviously to revive Satan, exclusively so you can fight him.
What could go wrong?
Of particular note here on the gameplay side is the final boss, who is Samuel Hayden, because holy shit, this
Oh
fight
my
is hard.
God.
Also, the premise is ridiculous, and my
Damn,
enjoyment of the game
I
is
just
hurt
got
by neither.
spoiled
Every aspect of this
really
is speedy,
badly. I'll
fun,
still play
and
the game
everything
though,
else
fuck
I've
it.
already said about the game in general. And when you finally beat Samuel and revive the Dark Lord, it turns out he's you. Yeah. The only thing in the world that could possibly kill John Doom. Himself.
No blood can be seen in this holy blood.
So now the not you decides to go to hell where we all belong, and the second DLC is just chasing him. This is of course where the testosterone moves into critical levels. How does one get to the capital city of hell? Well, that's a great question. First of all, go to the planet of Argentinur, light the bat signal, learn how to train your dragon, okay? Go into the giant spear
Learn
that
how to
pierces
train
the
your
entire planet
dragon.
for some reason, get the key to the Gate of Divum. Now go back to Earth, traverse the
Gate
Last
of
of Us 2,
Divum.
and find the Gate of Divum. But before I get to the final showdown with Crash Bandicoot Twin Sanity, there's some cool gameplay I want to talk about. You have a fucking hammer in this DLC, primarily used to defy the laws of gravity, but secondarily gives you everything in the game. Health? No problem. Ammo? Absolutely. My deepest, darkest urges? Yes. As I used this, I became more obsessed with hammers than Bob the fucking Builder, and there's plenty
It's
of demons to use it
anime.
on, since the DLC adds a shitload of reskins. For instance, the Spirit is a congealed amphetamine mass that makes every infested target 3 times faster. Microsoft Pinball, who is fun to fight, I promise. And the Bloodmakers. They are my original OC. Do not steal it. So now that we've reached Cleveland, it's time for the DLC to gain style.
Oh my
This is the
God.
culmination of all of our work. The final battle against Satan himself. And holy shit, you can feel it. When the Sentinel army shows up and everyone's ready to kick ass, you just can't help but feel like your dick is being tickled. Cleveland lives up to the hype too, for once, because it's a non-stop battle of epic proportions right up until the final boss. This is a universe which implicitly acknowledges your godlike power by making the only credible threat to you your identical twin with red eyes in a Gundam. That is called fucking gameplay. And it's a beautiful send-off right up until the man himself, who awkwardly waddles around the arena like a penguin, but that's fine, the fight is still cool. Wow, you know, it's so sad that Steve Jobs died of Ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls. Got him! Now, before we defenestrate, there's a few details I want to talk about that truly complete this game, make it a real 10 out of good. Firstly, I would classify the music of this game
I
as
just don't even know what to
without
say.
guitars, and I fucking dig it so much. How do you make metal
I
without a guitar?
am
Well,
speechless.
you sample Mongolian throat singing and your lawnmower.
It just sounds so good.
Normally, music isn't very important, but it's so good that it becomes important. And the role it plays in setting your mood is vital. Also, the main composer, Mick Gordon, like me,
Oh, the
watches
music's
virtual
really
YouTubers
good.
every waking second of his day.
What the fuck am I
In
watching?
fact, most of the music in this video is just Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Did he
Guess
actually
you'll have to
say
rewatch
that?
it over and over again to really listen.
Oh, yeah, that's some good music.
Finally, this game looks really good. Not in a, oh wow, look at all these particles I'm stroking out way. It's more like, how does literally anyone have time to model all of the geometry in the game? It is unreal. It is so downright inspired that it makes you feel bad while playing it. Doom Eternal is such a fast and pulse-pounding game that it's like sprinting through the fucking Louvre. How am I supposed to appreciate the Mona Lisa when it looks like this? Should you buy the game? Yes, I am very biased. If speed and action is what you crave and you want to induce cardiac arrest early, this is your game.
Let's
I would like to
go.
thank the Demonic Brotherhood funding this channel in exchange for their souls. If you would like to engage in blood sacrifice on my behalf, you can head to my Patreon to learn more. Thank you all for watching, and of course,
Oh my
run, they're coming.
god. Holy shit.